What's up everyone, it's Julian. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do X Club and skin on skin style, rave, breakbeat, trance, whatever you want to call it. A lot of you guys have been requesting this one. To go along with this video, you can get this full template that you're hearing right now. It's available at the top of the description on my website. Definitely go grab that. It's the best way to take your tracks to the next level. Plus it really helps support me so I can keep bringing you guys new videos like this that no one else is making. Thanks for the support everybody, and let's dive in. Alright, so first thing we got up here is our kick. Now, this is saying tech house kick. What that really means is this is a 909 kick. This is one I did a little while ago. This one actually had a little bass at the end, right? Which could be good maybe for techno or something, but I think with this, where you're going to have this reese under it, you just want a nice short kick, so I made that a little shorter. I've also tuned it to the key. Very important if you have like a kind of tonal kick like this that does have that low end. I'm cutting a little bit of sub out of there and also cutting a little bit of muddy frequency right there. Then we got our reese bass. So yeah, musically, this is actually probably simpler than it seems. You know, we're in the key of A sharp minor, so we're going root note, 6th, 7th, 5th, 5th, 6th, 5th. So you see, it's actually pretty simple if you look at that musically. But what it's doing is it's like holding on some of these notes a little bit longer, so it's kind of like you're expecting it to change on that bar 3 there, and then it just keeps holding on that 6th. So then by the time it does hit the 7th there, you're really ready for it, right? Same thing here when it goes up to the 5th. Now, for the sound on this one, it's made with operator, and this is actually a bit of an FM reese, right? If you look at this, it's not saw waves. It's actually just sine waves, and it's kind of like all happening inside of operator. So you basically start with this sine wave here, and then there's another one doing FM, and they're detuned. So you get kind of like a reese sort of thing to that already, right? But then we're low passing it and we're using the hard shaper. And that's what really gives us a bit more low end, and then like I think from the hard shaper just giving it more harmonics, but also you can hear it kind of makes it a bit more lo-fi, a bit crunchier. Then we're just cutting a bit of sub out of that and then side chaining it. Then I've got this pad. Now, this might seem complicated. What we're literally doing here is just an A sharp minor root note, major 6th, or the 6th, which is a major chord, and then this minor 4th here, right? So we're doing A sharp, F sharp major, D sharp minor. So it's actually a very simple chord progression, right? It's not exactly following what the bass line's doing, but it's all in key, so then you start to kind of layer these together. And you can hear that the chord changes are different, but they all fit really, really well together, and it creates, you know, some beautiful harmony in your track. Now, for the actual sound here, we're using drift. So I've got a saw wave and a square wave. The shape's up a little bit on the saw wave, and there's an LFO moving that. Plus, we got a little bit of noise here. I've got the filter with the low pass down and the high pass a little bit up. There's the envelopes. I'm not really doing too much other than just some unison. We got this hybrid verb. I'm using this like jet wash blanket texture thing. Side chaining and then high pass. Then we got another pad. Now this is the same deal. This is just, again, a bunch of chords in this same scale and all notes in the same key, but not necessarily following the same thing as all the other chord progressions that you've heard. So what's happening is these, again, all starting to stack up. And it's creating that sense of musicality. The other thing here is you'll notice the actual sound is very different from the other pad, and that's kind of another part of this, is they have to all be very different so they can fit together. Like, you can clearly hear the space between those just based off like what the sound is. This is this wavetable pad. I'm using the Signs. These are really good for making these kinds of pads. And there's a little LFO on the position too much, and it just becomes like a little bit kind of taking away from other elements, right? We got some noise unison, some reverb, sidechain, high pass, and a little low pass to get rid of some of the like harsh like frequencies, right? But again, if you just construct the sounds to be very different, you can do layers like this. The problem would just come if you were trying to layer together two things that are like exactly the same, right? Then we have this lead. Now, what this is doing is, again, we're in this A sharp minor scale. Like, if you look at this, it's all only a few voices inside of that scale. It's literally just the fifth, or excuse me, the fourth, the fifth, the root, and then the minor third. Like, that's all it's actually doing. But what we're doing here is, because we're in the key of A sharp minor, like, if you start on that fifth, you know, and work your way up the minor chord like that, those are all three voices that are just, you know, from the basic A sharp minor chord, just the fifth, root, and the third. But by starting with that while the bass is playing the A sharp, right, you can hear it. It creates a really nice sense of musicality. Now, for the actual sound here, we're using analog. We got two sine waves. One has a pitch envelope on it, and one doesn't. And this is kind of what I love about analog, is that you can do that so easily. You can create a lot of really cool sounds just by having the two oscillators have different pitch envelopes. You can hear this, like, because the pitch is still steady. Like, you can still hear the note it's supposed to be, since you have that one oscillator that is normal. But it just creates some nice movement. Then other than that, we really just have some glide, delay, and then a little bit of distortion. I didn't even sidechain that one. You don't always need to sidechain. And it helps the mix too, because you have all these other ones kind of in the background just being sidechained, and then this one just stays up front where you want it to be without being too in your face. So then we get the rest of the drums. So what we're doing here is we got a nice open hi-hat, super punchy and like aggressive. You can even see it in the waveform, so it'll sit really well with that kick and the respace that are hitting. Nice short 808 clap. Then we got this cool operator percussion. So what I'm doing here is it's just noise, and then we're using a high pass filter. And see, we're playing the different notes, and then I have this key tracking set up on the filters. You can hear, like, when you play the low notes, it's a little bit darker. When you play the high notes, it's a little bit brighter. And it creates like some new percussion, right? So then what we got after that is I have a little bit of corpus. Kind of adding, like, you know, makes it a bit more percussive, and then we're just side chaining it. And then the last thing is just the ride. Nice fat ride. But what I'm doing here is like the stereo trick where you put the echo on the fastest it can go on the 64th notes, and then ping pong, and then you just sort of blend it. And it gives you that like wider ride. And then we've also got that side chain. And there we are. So there it is. As you can see, not too hard. It's really just layering together a lot of different styles of rave music and kind of bringing it forward into the future as well. So that's me for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI presets. The entire template from this video is available at the top of the description on my website. Definitely go grab that. Thanks for the support, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.